Our club certainly has. I haven't, but our club's certainly spoken to him, and we look forward to having an opportunity to sit down face to face and chat and show him what Port Adelaide have to offer for him as a footballer, and hopefully give him the impression that he wants to be a part of our football club. And we understand that obviously Adelaide will be doing the same thing, but we want to make him feel like Port Adelaide's the right decision, and we'll do everything we can to convince him of that.
Has he indicated a preference for the Crows or the Power at this point?
No, not to me, or not to us. I don't know that, so I haven't had an opportunity to speak with him yet. So hopefully when we get a chance to sit down with him, he'll make a decision clearly he'll make a decision that he thinks is best for his football, and we hope that we can convince him that that's here at Port Adelaide.
Do you understand he's narrowed it to two? Is it definitely coming home to Adelaide, and it's between you and the Crows?
Yeah, well, my understanding is he wants to come home, and that's his choices. And when he wants to come home, there is only two clubs. So that doesn't mean it's going to happen, because his current club, have a fair say in where he's going to end up. So there's got to be all sorts of things worked out before that can happen.
Just big picture, Ken, is there any holes in your list that you're maybe looking to fill?
Yeah, we finished fifth, so there's areas that we have to improve on, and we have to make sure we go there. And I've said straight after the game, we'd like to have that key position forward be able to stand up for us, and we've got John Butcher that we think's got a really healthy future for us, and we've got Mason Shaw coming through, but Schultze needs a bit of a hand, because we typically don't play Westy as a key position forward. We use him much more as a utility, which is a really good thing for us from a coaching point of view. So yeah, we'd like to strengthen that. We'd certainly like to add. You'll never not want to add to your midfield or to any area of your game, to be honest. But if you get something that's going to make you better, we'll be looking to add to that area.
Do you have a preference to bring in a more experienced guy in that role, or would you just draft another youngster?
Fundamentally, our philosophy is that we draft and we develop. And we want to do that. That's our preference, and that's the way we'll be going about it. We will bring in predominantly young talent and hopefully make them the best we possibly can. Now, we did bring in Angus Monfries last year, and that doesn't mean we won't be in the market for those sort of players if we think they can add to our club in the character and what they bring to the team, like Angus did this year. We would be mad not to go there. But predominantly, 90% of our work is going to be done by drafting and developing.
So when you look to get better for next year, your first round pick that's off the table, you'll definitely be using that, not trading it?
You'd need to use your first round picks to draft. That's exactly what we need to do. And unless I was at Geelong when I think Brad Otten's come along. So you can't sit here and say we will never do this, we'll never do that. But we want to draft young talent and develop them. That's our first thought.
Brisbane have been saying they might want a first round draft pick for Polo, given the fact he was pick 5 in the draft. Do you consider swapping that pick for him, or get the deal done otherwise?
Oh no, we will. I've got no idea what the deal might or might not look like, because it's not something I've even entertained right now until you get to the point of talking to the player, finding out whether his commitment is to come and play with us, or there's no point going down the other track yet. So that's a long way off. So I don't think it's not something to even entertain right now, and we haven't spoken to Brisbane and what's Brisbane going to want, what they're not going to want, what are Adelaide able to offer, what are we able to offer, and then we'll make a decision on what's. You always try to, like in anything, you always try to weigh up the positives, negatives, and say, where do we want to sit with this, and what's the bonuses? It shouldn't be, and I learnt this early days, it shouldn't be that we have to win in every part of the deal. Hopefully it's a deal that's good for both clubs and importantly good for the player.
Just to clarify, your first round pick's not definitely off the table then, as far as trading it?
No, as I said, 90% of the time you would say you're going to stick with what you want, and that's your first round picks. And as I said, but living the Geelong model, when Brad come along, there's always an exceptional circumstances that you might do something, but I stress exceptional. No, not initially. It's not something that we can do. I mean, I would have thought that Dustin Martin, the quality of the player and how good a player he is, he's not going to be able to fit into what we do, and we haven't got pick 2 or pick 3 or pick 4 that we can offer up to get a player of that quality. And again, it's that you talk exceptional circumstances. There's some exceptional circumstances in that, but I would have thought that he's not going to be coming to Adelaide.